Are you ready for a new series? Anyway, let's get in this intro. We got a new series for you.
NFL Week2Week with your host, Buddy Strange, bringing you the best news in the funniest way possible every week of the NFL season.
Hello everybody, how's it going? We've got a new series for you, NFL Week2Week, with your host, me, Buddy Strange. Let's jump into this news. First off, Khalil Mack was in the news for being traded to the Bears. After being heavily rumored to go to the Packers, many were surprised that the Bears traded for the All-Pro edge rusher. When asked why, the Raiders' Reggie McKenzie said that he has a divisional directory and he accidentally called the Bears instead of the Packers. So instead of sending him packing, they sent him to the Windy City for 2 pancakes and a Chuck E. Cheese gift card with $2 left on it. The Bears took advantage of this foul-up by signing Mack to a 6-year, $141 million contract, making him not only the highest-paid defensive player ever, but one who can afford a shit ton of Chuck E. Cheese gift cards. In related news, Aaron Donald got paid big money this past week. He now holds the record for the least amount of time as the highest paid defensive player after his $135 million contract got passed up by the aforementioned Khalil Mack. When pressed on the subject by reporters, Donald said, "Damn, should have held out for one more week." In other news, Dan Bailey was cut by the Dallas Cowboys, which may come as a surprise to many Cowboy fans, but it shouldn't, being that reports are Jerry Jones was very furious with Dan Bailey's off-the-field presence, stating, "He's got to do better. I'd take an 0-16 record over a guy without a criminal record." Terrible news out of Baltimore after a great preseason. Kicker/punter Kar Vedvik was hospitalized after being found mysteriously injured in the streets of Baltimore. Police are investigating the matter. Prime suspect Justin Tucker, starting kicker for the Ravens, denies any involvement in the matter, saying he was a good backup and I did not kick the crap out of him this past weekend. Also, Ray Lewis, in a proactive move ahead of the Vedvik investigation, has decided to plead the 5th, or in his case, the 52nd. In not-so-shocking news, after stealing the hearts of many NFL fans, Jared Lorenzen is reportedly still at large. In other quarterbacking news, Christian Hackenberg got cut by the Eagles, proving what we all knew. Like Tim Tebow, he just couldn't hack it as a Christian quarterback in the NFL. On the note of Christian quarterbacks, Chargers' own Phillip Rivers just got his favorite target back. Antonio Gates has rejoined the squad on a 1-year deal. Gates, in his reintroductory press conference, said, "I'm ready to have an unprecedented amount of hype, only to underperform and miss the playoffs yet again." Michael Kendricks was in the news earlier this week for a type of cheating even Tom Brady hasn't gotten caught for: insider trading. Yes, the former Brown and Eagles linebacker was reportedly given a small amount of earnings, and I mean comparatively small, along with Eagles tickets to a quote-unquote friend for insider information. For this crime, Kendricks faces up to 25 years in prison, for which he will probably only serve a month with an undisclosed amount of community service hours. He claims he will return all this mismade money and has announced that he has tryouts with Leavenworth Maximum Security and the Cincinnati Bengals later in the week. Wide receiver Martavis Bryant was released from the Oakland Raiders this past week and will also, on top of it, face a suspension for substance abuse. Mark Davis, the owner of the Oakland Raiders, while reportedly sharing a, quote, fat-ass blunt with Martavis Bryant, did in fact inform him of his release from the Oakland Raiders. Also on the subject of substance abuse in the Raiders organization, after shipping his whole team away for what seems no more than a box of Cracker Jacks and coupons to Chucky's hair salon, Jon Gruden and the Raiders traded for Bills quarterback AJ McKinnon, claiming he was, quote, a Gruden grinder. In unrelated news, Gruden and former Missouri standout Michael Sam are coming out with a new phone app called Gruden's Grinder, where you can go and rate different sandwiches in Oakland sandwich shops. And other sandwich news, Reuben Foster, after an offseason filled with turmoil, accusations, and investigation, will be the 49ers starting middle linebacker when he returns from suspension, since getting off relatively scot-free, only getting a 2-game suspension. He was heard saying that he was glad he didn't have the name value of Ezekiel Elliott. In other 49ers news, adding insult to injury, Jerick McKinnon tore his ACL in a 49ers practice earlier in the week, proving to me that even God doesn't like overpaid running backs. In other injury news, Jaguars wide receiver Marquise Lee suffered a season-ending knee injury. And after losing starters Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns to free agency, it furthers my belief that the football gods hate Jacksonville and anybody with a healthy ACL. Paxton Lynch was cut by the Denver Broncos on Saturday, proving the already solidified fact that quarterbacks 6'6" and over will always be worse than quarterbacks 6 foot or below. Lastly, on the topic of preseason cuts, over 1,000 players were released on Saturday and Sunday to get each team down to a 53-man roster. Some cuts were to make room for other veteran players that other teams had cut. Could you imagine making the 53-man roster on Saturday, but by Sunday you're being cut to make room for someone else that was cut on Saturday? That's like not getting laid off, but then getting fired for some other schmuck who just got laid off from his job. Ouch. Alright, at this point in the segment, I will put the scores of the past week and make a comment on the scores and the different games and show a play of the game, you know, all that good stuff. And then I'd end the show. But since there weren't any games that will go on a regular season record or anything, I'll just proceed to do my outro. But before I do, I want to say stay tuned for the weekly preview video that will be coming probably early Thursday, definitely before the first game, which is the Eagles-Falcons. So if you want to get my insight on that game as well as my prediction, and with all the other games that will be coming on Sunday and a doubleheader on Monday, so that's awesome. Be sure to check out that video. And now to my outro. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. It's something new that I wanted to test out for you guys, and I'm going to try to make it a weekly thing where this would be the weekly wrap-up, and then I'll do another like a preview video for that next week. Just thought it'd be something you guys might enjoy, and definitely something I wanted to do. I hope you like the style of news stories. It was kind of like a Tonight Show bit, so includes some real news with a little bit of extra flair in there. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. What are you doing? Why haven't you already if you haven't? But anyway, comment anything down below that you would want me to look at, and I will. And with that being said, this is StrangeVoodooTV. I'm Buddy Strange. Keep it strange, people, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.